Hello, everyone. I have to read off a piece of paper today for some of this because there's so much information. I don't want to miss anything. And it's funny because, that's not something I would normally do. And we'll get into this in a second. But the energy right now is very masculine, and we're healing collectively a lot of wounded masculine traits and a lot of our wounded masculine energies. And all of that is being brought to the surface globally and individually for people that are sensitive or are feeling this energy, are purging it. It's coming up. So it's so ungrounded because we are needing to shed that layer, to bring it to the light, to bring it to that awareness so that we can re-ground it. So we're no longer rooted in fear and repeating those same programs, those subconscious programs, and we're seeing the reality of who we are or our own wounds when it comes to leading in our masculine energy so that we can plant ourselves in this earth and finally know how to be here. And I feel like for a lot of people, a lot of souls, a lot of us were not taught how to be and how to be our energy here. What made us feel safe or comfortable, everything involving our roots, our structure, family dynamics, even the jobs we have, the relationships we have with our friends. This is all a reflection of who we are. So there's been a lot of purging that's been going on. So if you have been really stepping into more of a purpose, or if you've been experiencing your own spiritual awakening or your own psychic gifts or your sense of knowing, just know that this is normal. This is a huge shift right now because of the clearing that's going on, where that release is making room to integrate all of this light that's coming in. So if you haven't been sleeping, if your dreams have been nuts, if you have almost felt like it's like insomnia, or it's like you're exhausted, or the energy is a little chaotic, that's because the nighttime is super active right now. So I'll just give you an example, but the other night I had a dream where I was outside of a school with a friend, and we were holding certificates, and it said Earth School, and we were graduating. There was this initiation, and we had been approved to come to Earth, like a class to take on Earth, or Earth School, which I honestly totally believe. And in this dream, you're in your astral body. So you're in a dream space where anything is possible. You're not limited by the physical body or the physical reality. We are outside of ourselves. We are in another plane of creation. And in this dream, I was like, you know what? I want to go to our graduation as my hot female self. And I literally just shape shifted. It was like I could see all of my cells, each individual atom that makes up me, or my physical mass, my physical body, separate and be removed. It's its own intelligence, because I wasn't limited by a physical body, because I was made of light and made of energy. And the message there is remembering our light and what we are capable of. And this memory is stored within our cells, within our atoms. And we are able to literally shift our structure and have access to those memories, that DNA, the light that is within us. It was you can think of each cell was almost like a thumb drive that you would stick into a computer, except this was I don't even know the number, trillion, that's as far as I can go. And there was so much data stored within the body, like a computer. So it was our energy and our light could turn into everything and had access to that. And obviously that was in my dream, but when I woke up, I was like, wow, that's so interesting, because so many people, including myself, are experiencing such shifts in their reality. And for everyone that has been either on their own self-love or self-work journey that is going through, it almost could feel like a move. It's like you're clearing your space, you're moving to another location, you're creating that time for yourself. And all of this comes back to, we're learning how to create through time and space in our physical vessel, in our physical body, how to manipulate energy. And the reminder from this dream was to always go to your heart, to go within and to transform yourself, transform your past in this now moment. Therefore, you can change your future, you can change the outcome. But a lot of us recreate our traumas because we're not aware. So the energy that's coming in and why everyone's feeling this shift is because we're so aware of energy, and it's going to feel a little uncomfortable as we're moving through this because it's our natural state. But again, uh, we haven't been taught how to be in our energy. So when this influx comes and we're like, I don't know what to do with this, it can be a little overwhelming, but know that it's totally normal. So for me, I'll experience it in like my heart starts pounding out of nowhere, random wave of anxiety, super heavy, and like I just need to lie down and maybe I'm gonna go for a nap. So you're either like exhausted. Sometimes my fingers will like go a little numb, or like my breathing's a little weird, and I'm just like, what's happening? And I just need to walk it off almost. I just need to go through it. It's not about overthinking it. It's just getting this energy, checking with ourselves and figuring out why this is happening and where this is coming from, and just letting it flow through your body. So when I was in Peru with my ayahuasca experience, I haven't really like shared the full detail on this, but one of the things I experienced that I haven't shared is that I was feeling those similar sensations when I started to feel this medicine. And when I started to hear voices and started receiving visuals, which I learned were my guides. And one of the things that they told me during this was that I was going to be receiving a light body activation. And I would hear it as if like I'm speaking now. I would just hear it in my head. And I was in a state where I was so high and feeling all this energy that was making my physical body feel uncomfortable because my nervous system had been programmed to be really dense. It had been programmed by the conditions, by the trauma. So when I actually was feeling a higher vibration, which is actually more natural, it felt uncomfortable. So I had been programmed to almost like shut out my potential or my highest energy. So this energy and this light body activation, I had never heard that word before. I didn't even know what it meant. It took me like 3 months afterwards to finally Google what that was. And basically what it was is that the energy I was receiving, that high vibrational energy, it was so intense. They would show it to me. If you think of the Matrix, it was like codes coming into my body, and seeing my body as a technology, a vehicle that has the ability and has everything it needs inside of it, that they were making certain aspects of myself and my purpose come online through remembrance and through consciousness. It was raising my vibration because the surrender was there. I was in a alignment with that frequency. I was resonating from my heart, and up until that point making choices from my heart and not fear. So even going to Peru, it's like, can I really afford this? Is that coming from scarcity and fear? Or no, I know my soul is calling me there and I will make this work. I know I am abundant. So shifting that mindset from scarcity to, and it's like scarcity and like survival, getting out of that mindset. And this is bringing us back to our heart, our natural creation energy, which is the love frequency. So what my guides have been telling me is that everything you think is going to start manifesting instantly. It is so fast. I was walking with a friend the other day and we were speaking about something, and she used the word accident. I don't remember what exactly we were talking about. And like, as soon as she said that, the lady walking towards us literally tripped. And we were like, ah. And right away we were both like, okay, you know what? Like, let's use the word oopsie, because words have power. And we are being reminded of our power right now, of our natural ability to create and to manipulate space and time to get onto the highest potential timeline for yourself, to align to your purpose and your goals and your passion, which overrides the scarcity and the profession. This is getting into the resonance of what it is in your heart that you know you are wanting. And the ungroundedness is removing that debris so you can literally go through this. It almost feels like grieving. Go through those cycles where you're like, oh, like, I don't know, like, I just need to sit with this, internalize it, and allow yourself to feel it, and know that the decisions that you're making now will literally shift and change your reality. So, moving into this vibration of love, everything you create from this point on, consciously, from that vibration, compassionately, with awareness, will have massive effects on recreating your reality. So, when you know you're wanting something because your soul is telling you and allowing you to feel this, when you make that decision now from trust and from love, and I know this is in my highest good, I know I resonate with this, you will start shifting into a way less resistant reality to live in. So, this is going to help again program that egoic, is that good enough for you type of mindset to actually, yes, this is exactly what I'm wanting. And then making that shift, not self-sabotaging. So it comes from a different resonance. So we're really stepping into alignment now of understanding energy, how energy feels within our body, and how to create with energy now, and knowing that instead of always living outside of ourselves and like, but I don't have that yet, or but I want that, or but I need this first, it's like, no, this is a reminder to come back into this frequency, sit with ourselves, visualize what we're wanting, write it down as if it's already happened, sit with that feeling of, oh my God, this is what it will feel like when I am in that moment. Connect to the future you are creating in this now moment instead of reliving your past on repeat every single day. So, really see what's coming up right now. The energy, again, I believe like we are shifting into a more loving, heart based, empowered, feminine frequency. The unification is happening. That is why the balance from our wounded side, the masculine, the ego, really what this world has been built from, is coming up now to allow us to integrate these aspects. So I've noticed like communication this week has been really aggressive. It's been very egoic. Um, and if you're noticing, like, what's an example here? Okay, so for me, I'm a hairstylist. I chose to move into color specifically. I chose to work with women only because I never felt super comfortable necessarily around like a pure masculine energy. And this is nothing against men. This is just speaking about energy and those qualities. I always felt more nurtured and safe in feminine energy, which is my own. So when I would be around men, because of my trauma with not having proper healed role models in a masculine energy, I never learned how to feel comfortable in my own because that space was never held for me, which is really the role of a masculine energy, to hold that space for energy to release and for this to be in synergy, to create from both, to have your roots planted here, the physicality, to work through material form and massive energy to create. So I would do the opposite. I would go inside of myself, and that's where I would create from. So this process we're all going through right now is allowing us to integrate our masculine to be like, you know what? I deserve to be here. I am here. I'm choosing to be here. And there's a little bit of a shift that's happening where we are recreating ourselves. We're figuring out how to move our energy through this world and through matter. And that's going to take a little bit of time. So, this chaos we're feeling now will eventually turn into a more empowered structure that allows for the flow of energy in each and every moment that we're creating presently. So the reason why I'm bringing the example of me not taking male clients on is because that was a trauma response from myself not wanting to be around that energy. So what I was actually doing was bypassing, I was avoiding the area I'm actually needing to grow. I'm 28. That was a kicker. I was like, what? I've been preventing my own growth and expansion this whole time because I've been specifically avoiding the one thing I'm uncomfortable with, because who knew it's where you're uncomfortable that you will achieve the most growth. So the reminder is like, look at your life, your own reality you've created, take responsibility and see where you are uncomfortable. You're being shown what to surrender to and what's needing to be changed. So for example, with this scenario I'm giving, in order for me to heal and move through this energy and integrate that within myself, I actually need to invite male energy and masculine energy into my life and embody it and empower it within myself. So the awareness is there, now the change can happen and the shift can happen. And that's where that unification process is happening. I'm just going to take a second to look here because there's just so much information. Yeah, a reminder to really stay grounded in love and not fear, to really plant our roots in that. Getting out of, again, the mind and the ego, which is going to create us if we don't start taking control of our thoughts and what we're creating. So that intention is a must, fueled with the energy we are embodying, we are responsible for. And if we are out of alignment, that's okay. The reminder was, when you connect to your breath, what you are doing is you are dropping out of your ego, you are dropping out of your mind, and you are going to place all your attention on your chest, on your heart, on your breath. It's going to instantly just bring you back into your body. And the focus, it sounds so simple to just focus on that breath and see how many breaths you can go before you are already thinking about like what you're making for dinner. Like really just sit with it and connect to your breath and drop yourself back into your energy. And what this is going to help everyone do is get us out of the external, get us out of the reality outside of ourselves, and it's going to bring us back down. So if you're going through something stressful or there's a decision that needs to be made and all of your mind is going on the outside, it's like, no, bring it back down. Let's reach a level where we're neutral, where we're comfortable, where we're safe and secure and rooted. And now let's approach this with love and compassion and the highest frequency. So if something happens where you're like, what am I going to do? You literally are being called to predict the best outcome for yourself, to believe it, to see it, to know it. So if you're like, oh, I'm so exhausted today, you're literally going to be exhausted all day and you don't even realize you're projecting negative energy. Where if you're conscious and you're like, okay, my body is definitely tired, I'm not in my highest vibration, I know I need sleep, and tomorrow will be a better day. That's a completely different energy we're fueling our reality with. So it's this refinement aspect that's happening to really get us to connect our mind, our emotions, and our body and understand we're creating in all moments with each of these bodies. But a lot of the times we're in our mind. We're not even in the physical. We're always thinking we're outside of ourselves. So, oh yeah, this is the exciting part. So basically in that is like, watch out for the cracks in your mental foundation, in all of them, so that you can again build that home that can hold your energy and container and the people you love and the vibrations you are accepting into your life. You have that power. So really look at your reality and the vibrations and energy that are in your life. Okay, I really feel like 2021 obviously has been a massive year. August to October, I really feel like huge, again, shifts are going to be made for everyone that has been really doing this type of work, raising their vibration. This has been a time to go inward, and there's going to be a huge shift with this empowerment when we are outside in this world again, where the space we've created, good karma in general, what you are and what you put out, you will receive. So I really believe that that span and those months are going to be massive for manifesting and bringing in completely different experiences and energies and everything you've been putting out there tenfold, because you will be a match to it. And that's the reminder from this, is we're really shifting into a new world, which is all energetic based. So that is why the alignment is your responsibility. This is a mental game, and the number one focus that I believe is consciousness and conscious awareness of what you're creating in this space-time continuum with your energy as the fuel, and then allowing the physical world to manifest or materialize to be a match to what you're putting out there. Yes, okay, so this time frame, I really feel like this year moving into like 2022, so many people I feel like are feeling like lonely, or why don't I have a partner, or like why do I still feel like I don't have the full life I want? And what you're feeling is the clearing and the shift that you've created. We have been this whole time doing one of the most important things you can do is build a relationship not only with yourself in a positive way, but with your soul and with the connection to energy and your own guides, knowing that you are the creator of your own reality. And now from this level, moving out there, you will be attracting a match. So I'll use the term soulmate in like a rough, broad term. This isn't like the one and only. This is friends that you have instant chemistry and connection with. Having both of those two qualities are very important. You will just know, like you've known them forever. You will just click. You will feel when someone is riding that same wave of love with you. It doesn't need to be talked about or discussed. It's like, oh my God, I love you. Because that vulnerability is there, that connection from the heart is there, the work and the awareness is there. And with partners and romantic partners, I really feel like 222 from now until then is like the year to bring in these relationships with all of the work you've done. So don't get discouraged and fall into the trap of self-sabotage and doubt. Know it is coming, and hold that. That's the message. Hold that vibration, hold that feeling, stay in your own reality, in your own lane. Know that what you are feeling and thinking is coming true. And like one of the aspects of like being intuitive and empathic and psychic, you know in advance. So to create that future, you need to stabilize it presently. So this work has been shifting and clearing so much of the past to not create us now. And now we are creating in every moment, bringing in the highest potential for our future. So those were kind of like the main messages. Really that just like everything unconscious is becoming conscious, and like the work really just never ends. It's like one thing after another. How I was kind of seeing it was, it's kind of funny, but it's like when you look in a fridge and you're like, where's the ketchup? And like your brother or sister comes over and they're like, they move one thing and they're like, it's right there. And you're like, what? But the whole concept is like, when you do this work and you start looking inside of yourself, if we just like look with our physical eyes about like, but I don't have this yet, and like, what, that doesn't make sense. And if it's still linear, or if it's still in the vibration of like lack or distrust, you'll never find what you're looking for, and you're going to get stuck in that loop, creating that lack, or I don't have this yet. And the point is to do this deep work where instead of just like saying immediately like I don't know, or where is this, and that reaction, the whole concept of looking in the fridge, aka yourself, moving that one thing out of the way, continuing to find other things, is the observation. So when things come up, you are in a state of observing what is happening in your reality, so that it's not shifting you out of alignment. You can clearly see what is happening and what you are feeling and what is yours and what is not yours, knowing that what you are feeling is valid and it's an experience. And if you were just to react to it and get heated or heavy or angry, that puts you in a different state. So the true test is to stay in your own lane, stay in your vibration, keep your vibes high. And because this energy is so heavy, of course, it's bringing out the true test, which is like to grow and expand and like shoot off after this energy is cleared that we're moving through. The test is to stay in that alignment because this is where the growth is happening, the true test. To not allow the egoic side to come in, to observe it, to be like, I see you. It's almost like a child, and you're like, I love you, thank you for that, but I'm super aware of what I'm actually feeling, and I'm going to create from this center instead. So I feel like that's kind of everything. I'm just gonna skim over really quick. Oh yes, this is a skill. I really want to be like, I love you all for everyone that's on this journey. Doing this work is a skill, being conscious is a skill, being aware is a skill, listening is a skill, holding space is a skill. Like, these are all tools of communication. And through this clearing and with our own gifts being activated, that is going to start allowing you to communicate and be aware and receive on a much deeper level because you're learning how to listen and you've cleared a lot of space, and that's why this integration is coming back. So I just want to say, like, I love you and I honor you for everyone that has been doing this because it has been literally a rough ride. So no more living outside of ourselves, no more disempowerment. This is like full accountability, full creation. I got this type of energy, and it's being played out again in duality where like the energy is super intense, so heavy. Of course that's going to throw us off, and that's natural, but the test is to bring ourselves back into that alignment. So I love you guys. We're gonna get through this. I think tonight or tomorrow's the eclipse. So, like, this is the time to clear and to shed and to surrender and just embody the feelings, allow it to move through you, set your intentions, hold that state, envision what you're wanting, and know and trust that everything is happening for you and it is in alignment. I love you guys. I'll see you soon.